Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Team 10 and we are about to present you some of the cool forts that we would like to present. Our subject today will be Frederick Fort, Yogyakarta, Indonesia, and McHenry Fort, USA.
Hello, my name is Ajeng Nawangsari, number 6.
Hello, my name is Yatika Rama Yulianti, number 13.
And my name is Hafiz Putranda Sulaiman, number 21.
Frederick is a fort located in Indonesian Yogyakarta, located in front of Sultan Palace. The fort now serves as a museum. The Frederick Museum contains several displays of the struggle of the Indonesian people against the colonialists in the Dutch colonial era. The fort was once served as a military base by both the Japanese forces during World War II and the Dutch government during the colonialism era.
Frederick Fort saw many changes in its history. Historically, since the beginning of the development until now, there have been several changes in the status of ownership and function of the fort. In 1760, at the beginning of its construction, the status of the land remained in name of the Keraton, but its use was under the supervision of Nicholas Harding, Governor-Director of the North Java region of Padai from the Netherlands government. In 1765, the status of the land formally remained the property of the palace, but the control of the fort and its land was held by the Dutch under the governor of W.H. Olsenburg. In 1799, the formal status of the land still belonged to Keraton, and the use of the fort belonged to the Dutch government, but now under the governor of Van den Burg. In 1811, the fort is still legally belonged to the Keraton, but the control of the fort is directed by the British government under the leadership of General Raffles. In 1942, the Dutch and the British surrendered to the Japanese, and the fort began to be fully controlled by the Japanese, which was marked by the signing of the Kalijadi Agreement in West Java, March 1942. Around 1942 until 1945, the Japanese used this fort as the headquarters of the Kempete, or the Japanese police, gunpowder warehouse, and a prison house for Dutch and Indo-Dutch people, as well as Indonesian politicians who opposed the Japanese government rule. After the proclamation of Indonesian independence in 1945, the fort was taken over by the Indonesian military agency, but it was retaken back by the Dutch in 1948, after the Dutch launched its second military aggression to the Indonesian resistance. And finally, it was recaptured back by the Indonesian after the general attack on March 1st, 1949, and the management finally given back to the ABRI, as known as the Indonesian Armed Forces. In around 1992, the status of the management of the fort was handed back to Yogyakarta government by the Defense and Security. An agreement was made regarding the use of the former Frederick Fort building between Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IX and the Minister of Education and Culture, Dr. Daud Yusuf. This agreement made the function of the fort change into a museum displaying the history of Indonesian independence throughout history.
With an area more than 12,000 square meters, Fort Frederick has many places inside of it that are quite interesting to talk about. Firstly, around the museum, a moat was made around the fort as the outermost barrier against enemy attack. In subsequent development, when the military system advanced, this strength was only used as a means of disposal. Inside the museum, there is a diorama depicting the inauguration of General Sudirman, biography as the Commander-in-Chief of the TNI, by President Soekarno at Agung Building, Yogyakarta. Inside the museum, there is a typewriter belonging to Suryo Pranoto, the leader of the strike action for sugar factory workers in Yogyakarta. The building inside the fort, to be precise, in the middle, functioned as a barrack for soldiers and officers. These rooms were later used as military barriers. There is also a monument to the general assault of March 1st, 1949. In this museum, we can also see various collections of Dutch and Yogyakarta people's heritage during the independence era. There is a diorama on the first floor which can be used to see the history of the Indonesian people. And on the second floor of the South building, there is a cafe for visitors that opens from 10 o'clock. And the atmosphere of the fort is quite beautiful because it has a garden and cemeteries.
The McHenry Fort is located in Maryland, USA. Stretching over 170,000 meters, McHenry Fort is one of the biggest forts in USA. Named after the Secretary of War James McHenry, the fort was used mostly during the American Civil War.
McHenry Fort saw its construction in 1798. The function of the fort was used to be a strategic coastal defense against the British during the American Revolution. This fort saw many actions. As example, the Battle of Cheapsake Bay, which we saw the biggest British naval failure during the war itself. In the 19th century, however, the fort became useless for combat, and it was later used as a hospital, holding more than 300 rooms for the wounded soldier during the First World War. And as today, McHenry Fort is one of the oldest forts built in America, a great representative of the American bravery during its revolution. The fort now functions as a national park.
The flag that flew over the fort during the War of 1812 until now was the largest garrison flag ever flown in history, measuring over 30 feet high by 42 feet wide, so the British could not miss it. Fort McHenry is now a national park site, and the grounds surrounding it are open to the public for free. There is a path for walking, running or biking that circles the fort and the water edge line, making for some amazing views while you get your exercise. There is also plenty room for a picnic or playtime for kids.
Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new after watching this video. We are from Team 10. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.